Have you ever paused, a flicker of concern crossing your mind about a subtle yet persistent scent down there, even when you're meticulous about personal cleanliness? It's a deeply personal experience, one rarely voiced in open conversation, yet it's a reality for more women than you might imagine, particularly as the years gracefully advance. What if the culprit isn't a lapse in hygiene, nor necessarily an ominous health issue, but something as seemingly innocuous as the clothes you choose each morning, or the ingrained habits you've followed for decades? It's a startling thought, isn't it, that the very garments intended for comfort and modesty could be silently contributing to a problem that chips away at confidence and peace of mind. Today, we embark on an honest and compassionate exploration of a topic that, while often shrouded in silence, touches the lives of countless women. Esteemed doctors and specialists in women's health have increasingly shed light on how specific everyday clothing choices, those that feel harmless, comfortable, or even necessary, can inadvertently create the perfect storm for trapping moisture, disrupting the delicate pH balance of your intimate areas, and fostering the growth of odor-causing bacteria. If you find yourself in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond, and you've noticed a change in how your body feels or smells, please take a deep breath and release any self-blame. You are far from alone, and this is not a reflection of being unclean. This discussion isn't designed to cause alarm or shame. Its sole purpose is to empower you with knowledge and gentle guidance. We will carefully unpack 7 common clothing habits that might be subtly undermining your efforts to feel fresh and comfortable, often without your conscious awareness. Some of these habits are nuanced, easily overlooked. Others are practices we may have been taught were perfectly acceptable, even beneficial. However, once you understand the delicate interplay between fabrics, fit, and your body's evolving physiology, you'll discover that small, mindful shifts in your wardrobe choices can lead to profound improvements. These changes can help you not only feel fresher, but also reclaim a sense of confidence, control, and profound comfort in your own skin. So, lean in, listen with an open heart, and allow yourself to consider these insights. What you learn today has the potential to transform not just how you get dressed tomorrow, but how you feel every single day thereafter. Habit 1. The synthetic deception. When popular underwear choices work against you. The first habit we'll explore, and arguably one of the most prevalent, is the routine wearing of synthetic underwear. Many older women gravitate towards undergarments crafted from materials like polyester, nylon, or rayon. Their appeal is understandable. They often boast a smoother, more luxurious feel against the skin compared to plainer cotton. They might feature attractive lace or come in a wider array of vibrant colors, and they tend to maintain their shape and appearance longer, resisting the wear and tear of repeated laundering. However, beneath this veneer of practicality and aesthetic appeal lies a significant downside for intimate health. The fundamental problem with these synthetic fabrics is their lack of breathability. Imagine wrapping a delicate part of your skin in a material that doesn't allow air to circulate freely. That's essentially what happens when you wear synthetic underwear. These fabrics act like a barrier. You're trapping heat and moisture, especially in the groin area, which is naturally prone to warmth and perspiration. This creates a consistently warm, damp microclimate, an environment that, unfortunately, is an absolute paradise for odor-causing bacteria to flourish. The longer your skin remains in contact with this trapped moisture and elevated heat, the more hospitable the conditions become for these bacteria to multiply exponentially. And as their populations grow, so too does the intensity of any associated odor. Now, why does this issue become particularly pertinent for older women? As estrogen levels naturally decline with age, particularly during and after menopause, the vaginal tissues undergo significant changes. They tend to become thinner, drier, and more sensitive, a condition sometimes referred to as vulvovaginal atrophy or genitourinary syndrome of menopause. The natural balance of beneficial bacteria like lactobacilli in the vagina, which help maintain an acidic pH and ward off infections, can also shift more easily. In this altered physiological landscape, even a little extra heat or dampness, such as that created by non-breathable underwear, can more readily disrupt this delicate ecosystem. This makes the body more vulnerable not only to odor, but also to common irritations and infections like bacterial vaginosis, BV, or yeast infections, both of which are notorious for producing distinct and often unpleasant odors. It's crucial to understand that this isn't about a failure of hygiene. It's a complex interplay between the natural biology of aging skin and the unintended consequences of fabric choices. The solution, thankfully, is straightforward and empowering, making a conscious switch to breathable, natural fabrics, with cotton being the gold standard. Cotton is a wonderfully absorbent material that allows air to circulate, wicking moisture away from the skin rather than trapping it. This helps your skin stay drier and cooler, significantly reducing the likelihood of creating that bacteria-friendly hothouse. It might not always look as fancy as its synthetic counterparts, but the comfort and health benefits it offers are invaluable, especially during warmer months, during physical activity, or even just during sleep. Furthermore, consider this. Many synthetic panties, particularly those adorned with intricate lace or tight elastic bands, can cause microfriction against the skin. These tiny, almost imperceptible irritations can lead to low-grade inflammation. This inflammation, in turn, can subtly alter the skin's pH and even trigger the body to release stronger-smelling oils or compounds as a protective response. Take Gloria, for instance, a vibrant 72-year-old who shared her experience. She had been waking up most mornings feeling uncomfortably damp and noticing a persistent, troubling odor. She initially resigned herself to it, thinking it was an unavoidable consequence of getting older. However, after a candid conversation with her gynecologist, who gently inquired about her underwear choices, Gloria decided to experiment. She replaced her drawer full of silky synthetic briefs with 100% cotton alternatives. The difference, she reported, was noticeable almost overnight. She felt significantly fresher. Her sleep quality improved because she was no longer bothered by dampness. And most importantly, her confidence experienced a remarkable resurgence. "I stopped worrying every time I sat down next to someone at bridge club," she confided. "It was such a simple change, but it gave me back a piece of my dignity." You don't need to discard your entire underwear collection immediately. Start small. Choose 1 or 2 pairs of high-quality, breathable cotton underwear and wear them consistently for a few days. Pay attention to how your body feels. You might be genuinely surprised at how such a seemingly minor adjustment can restore a profound sense of comfort and freshness. If you found this first insight into the impact of synthetic fabrics useful, and perhaps it sparked a thought about your own choices, please comment with the number 1 below. We'd love to know this resonates with you. And if you're appreciating this honest discussion, please consider supporting our channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss out on more content designed to inform and empower. Habit 2, the unseen residue. Rewearing pants without sufficient washing. It's a common practice, often born out of convenience or the perception that an item isn't visibly dirty. Wearing the same pair of pants for several days in a row. Perhaps they're your favorite comfortable slacks for around the house, or those jeans that fit just right. While this might seem like a harmless, even resource-conserving habit, for older women, it can quietly and insidiously contribute to the development of persistent odor issues in the intimate area. The reality is that pants, especially those worn without an underlayer or those that fit snugly around the groin, absorb much more than just visible dirt. They become repositories for sweat, natural skin oils, sloughed off dead skin cells, and sometimes, inevitably, trace amounts of urine leakage. An issue that becomes more common with age and is certainly nothing to feel embarrassed about, though it's seldom openly discussed. Here's where the problem begins to compound. Every time you sit, stand, walk, or move, there's friction between your skin and the fabric of your pants. This friction, particularly with close-fitting fabrics like denim or certain stretch materials, generates warmth in the groin area. This warmth, combined with the absorbed bodily secretions, activates and encourages the proliferation of bacteria that are naturally present on your skin, and, increasingly, on the cloth itself. Over days of repeated wear, these bacteria can create what amounts to an invisible biofilm on the inner thighs and crotch area of the pants. You might not detect a strong odor immediately when you pick them up, but your body, in its intimate contact with the fabric, certainly does. Your skin reacts to this microbial load, and that's when a persistent, musty, stale, or even subtly sour scent can begin to emerge, seemingly from nowhere. Some women also favor shapewear or tightly fitting trousers that contour the body. While these might offer a desired silhouette, they often severely restrict airflow. When this lack of ventilation is combined with infrequent washing, it creates a perfect storm for bacterial overgrowth and the subsequent development of odor. Think about it from this perspective. Most of us wouldn't dream of rewearing the same pair of socks for several days, understanding that they absorb sweat and harbor bacteria. Why then would we subject an even more sensitive and enclosed area of our body to prolonged contact with unwashed fabric? Consider Margaret, a meticulously tidy 68-year-old. She admitted, with some initial reluctance, that she often wore her favorite pair of comfortable stretch pants for a full week of pottering around the house before they made it into the laundry basket. She'd begun to notice a faint but persistent odor, particularly when she was seated for long periods or on warmer days. Her first instinct was to suspect a hygiene issue, so she switched soaps and body washes, but nothing seemed to alleviate the problem. It wasn't until she had a frank conversation with her daughter, who gently suggested the pants might be the culprit, that Margaret had her aha moment. Once she began washing her pants every other day, especially those worn for extended periods, and sometimes used a thin cotton panty liner for extra protection on active days, the issue cleared up completely, much to her relief. The solution here is refreshingly simple. Cultivate the habit of rotating your pants more frequently. If a garment is worn directly against your skin, particularly in the groin or buttock area, it generally needs to be washed after 1 or at most 2 full days of wear, even if it still looks clean. This is especially true in warmer weather, or if you tend to perspire more. If you sweat during the night, make sure you're not then wearing those same pajama bottoms or lounge pants throughout the following day. Allow your skin the simple dignity of fresh, clean fabric. You absolutely deserve to feel fresh, clean, and confident every single day. This information about the impact of rewearing garments might be a new perspective for some. If you found this second point eye-opening, or if it's made you reconsider your laundry habits, please let us know by commenting with the number 2 below. Your engagement helps us understand what content is most valuable to you. Habit 3, the duration trap, the compounding effect of all-day synthetic underwear. Building upon our earlier discussion about synthetic fabrics, the third habit that often contributes to unwelcome odor is the practice of wearing synthetic underwear for extended periods. Essentially, all day long. While materials like nylon, polyester, or delicate lace might offer an initial sensation of smoothness or a more alluring aesthetic, their fundamental inability to allow your skin to breathe becomes increasingly problematic the longer they are worn. As we've established, these materials trap heat and moisture directly against your most sensitive areas. Now, let's consider what happens over the course of a full day. As you go about your activities, whether it's running errands, engaging in light exercise, or simply sitting for prolonged periods, your body naturally produces warmth and perspiration. In a breathable fabric like cotton, much of this moisture would be wicked away from the skin and allowed to evaporate. However, when encased in synthetics, this moisture has nowhere to go. It accumulates, creating an increasingly warm, damp, and occlusive environment. Hour by hour, this duration trap makes the groin area an ever more perfect breeding ground for bacteria and yeast. The longer you remain in synthetic underwear, the more your body temperature and natural moisture are contained, and the more these microorganisms can thrive and multiply. What's particularly insidious about this is that the odor may not be immediately apparent or overwhelming. It can be a subtle, creeping issue that gradually intensifies throughout the day, often becoming most noticeable in the evening or when you least expect it, leading to feelings of self-consciousness and discomfort. Furthermore, this prolonged exposure to a moist, bacteria-laden environment doesn't just risk odor. It can also lead to persistent irritation, uncomfortable itching, and a heightened susceptibility to infections. Joan, a sprightly 74-year-old, shared her story. She had a fondness for lace-trimmed synthetic briefs that she often found on sale. They felt soft, looked pretty, and she considered them a little everyday luxury. However, over several months, she began to notice that even shortly after her daily shower, she didn't feel as consistently fresh as she used to. A faint, bothersome odor would often return by late afternoon. During a routine checkup, her astute doctor, after ruling out other potential causes, asked a simple question. "What kind of underwear do you typically wear, Joan, and for how long each day?" This prompted Joan to experiment. She made a conscious effort to switch to 100% cotton briefs for daytime wear, and also started to give her body more airtime in the evenings by opting for loose cotton sleepwear. The difference, she reported, was immediate and striking. The persistent odor vanished, and she felt a renewed sense of comfort and cleanliness that had been eluding her. The key takeaway here is that it's not just what you wear, but also how long you wear it, especially when it comes to less breathable fabrics. Even if you do occasionally choose to wear synthetic underwear, perhaps for a special occasion or under a particular outfit, try to limit the duration. When you're at home, especially in the evenings or on relaxed days, consider switching to loose-fitting cotton briefs. An even better practice is to give your body a complete break by going without underwear for a few hours if you're comfortable doing so in the privacy of your home, allowing for maximum air circulation. Nighttime, in particular, offers a fantastic opportunity for your skin to breathe. Sleeping without underwear, or in very loose, breathable cotton sleepwear, can significantly help your body maintain its natural balance and freshness. This isn't about adhering to some complicated or expensive regimen. It's about making small, kind choices for your body. Your skin is constantly communicating with you, even in the quietest ways. When it feels suffocated or imbalanced, odor is often one of its primary signals asking for a change. Listen to that signal and provide it with the comfort and air it needs. You deserve to feel dry, clean, and wonderfully free in your intimate area every single day. If this insight about the cumulative effect of wearing synthetic underwear all day has been helpful, or if it's something you plan to be more mindful of, please comment with the number 3 below. We truly appreciate hearing from you, and it encourages us to continue sharing valuable information. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing to the channel and activating the notification bell so you stay updated with our latest content. Habit 4, the outerwear offender, rewearing pants or skirts without regular washing. This habit echoes our earlier discussion about rewearing pants, but it warrants its own focus because the type of garment and the context can subtly alter the dynamics. It might seem perfectly reasonable, even economical, to wear the same pair of trousers, capris, or a favorite skirt for 2, 3, or even more days in a row, especially if they appear clean on the outside and haven't been subjected to any obvious spills or strenuous activity. However, when it comes to the invisible world of bacteria and the potential for odor development down there, this seemingly innocuous practice can gradually build into a more significant issue over time. You may not visibly see the perspiration, the natural body oils, or the microscopic skin cells that your body sheds throughout the day. But rest assured, your clothes are diligently absorbing and holding on to them. Every time we sit down, walk, bend, or even cross our legs, there's a degree of friction between our skin or our underwear and the fabric of our outerwear. This friction generates warmth, and warmth, as we know, encourages moisture, be it from slight perspiration or the general humidity of the body. If your pants or skirts are relatively close-fitting, or if they are made from fabrics that don't breathe particularly well, like some heavy denims, corduroys, or synthetic blends common in skirts, they will absorb this moisture and hold it close to your body. Now, if you wear these same clothes again the next day, and perhaps the day after, without laundering them, you are essentially reintroducing yesterday's and the day before's accumulation of moisture and bacteria right back into your personal environment. This is particularly relevant for skirts, as some women may opt to go without underwear or wear thong-style underwear, meaning the skirt fabric itself has more direct contact with the body or is in closer proximity to areas prone to moisture and bacteria. Let's consider Evelyn, a 69-year-old who loved spending her mornings tending her beautiful garden and her afternoons running errands around town. She often wore the same comfortable pair of stretch capri pants for 2 or 3 days straight, primarily because they didn't show any dirt and were convenient. However, she gradually started to feel self-conscious about a persistent, slightly musty smell that seemed to cling to her, a smell that wouldn't entirely dissipate even after her daily showers. It was her daughter, during a visit, who gently and tactfully brought up the possibility that her clothing habits might be contributing. Embarrassed at first, Evelyn decided to make a change. She began rotating her capri pants and other daily wear bottoms, ensuring each was washed after a single full day's wear. Within a week, she reported with relief the elusive odor had vanished. The truth is, our lower body, including the groin and inner thighs, has sweat glands just like other parts of our body. When this sweat mixes with the natural bacteria present on our skin, it can linger and break down on fabric, producing characteristic odors. So, even if your clothes look spotless to the naked eye, they may still be carrying an invisible cargo that affects your personal scent. Adopting the practice of washing outerwear after one full wear, especially during warmer seasons or if you've been active, isn't about being overly fastidious. It's about practicing a deeper level of cleanliness where it truly counts for comfort and confidence. To make this transition easier and more sustainable, consider building a small, versatile collection of comfortable, breathable bottoms, pants, skirts, culottes that you genuinely enjoy wearing. This way, you're more likely to swap them out regularly without feeling like you're constantly doing laundry. On days when you're mostly at home and not engaging in much physical activity, opting for lightweight cotton or linen bottoms can also help your skin stay better aired out. Your clothes should be allies in your quest to feel fresh and confident, not silent contributors to discomfort or embarrassment. It's a quiet, often unseen shift in habit, but one that can bring a very real and tangible peace of mind. And once you make this change, you'll likely feel the positive difference more profoundly than anyone else. What are your thoughts on the frequency of washing outerwear like pants and skirts? Have you ever noticed a connection between this habit and how fresh you feel? Share your opinion by commenting with the keyword laundry or the number 4. We're keen to hear your experiences. Habit 5, the nylon and polyester pitfall, unmasking specific synthetic culprits. While we've broadly discussed synthetic fabrics, it's worth delving a little deeper into two of the most common culprits found in underwear drawers, nylon and polyester. Many older women, and indeed women of all ages, choose undergarments made from these specific synthetic materials for a host of appealing reasons. They are often incredibly stretchy, offering a snug yet flexible fit. They are generally affordable, widely available in a vast array of styles and colors, and are known for their durability and ease of care, often drying quickly and resisting wrinkles. They can mimic the sheen of silk or the fineness of delicate lace, lending an air of everyday luxury. However, the very properties that make them attractive from a manufacturing and marketing standpoint can be problematic for intimate health. The core issue, as with most synthetics, is their inherent lack of breathability and poor moisture management. Nylon and polyester are essentially plastic-derived fibers. They are hydrophobic, meaning they repel water rather than absorb it. While this might sound good in theory, quick drying, in the context of underwear, it means that any perspiration or natural moisture produced by your body isn't wicked away and absorbed into the fabric. Instead, it gets trapped between the fabric and your skin. This creates that familiar, warm, damp, occlusive environment we've discussed, the perfect incubator for bacteria to multiply rapidly. Bacteria, as we know, thrive in such conditions. And as they proliferate, they break down components in sweat and other bodily secretions, producing volatile organic compounds that are responsible for body odor. Over time, this persistently moist environment, coupled with bacterial overgrowth, can lead not only to stronger and more noticeable body odor, but also to uncomfortable itching, skin irritation, or even an increased susceptibility to common vaginal infections like yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis. Because these issues are occurring in a private, intimate area, many women may unfortunately ignore the early signs, dismiss them as just part of aging, or mistakenly attribute them to other factors like diet or hormonal changes alone. Yet, quite often, a significant part of the solution can be as straightforward as reevaluating and changing what's closest to your skin. Let me share the experience of Denise, a 72-year-old who had been loyally wearing the same brand of nylon briefs for many years. They were, by her account, exceptionally comfortable in terms of fit and feel, and she appreciated their longevity. However, she started to notice an increasingly unpleasant and persistent smell by evening, even on days when she bathed meticulously every morning. During a conversation with her doctor about her general well-being, the doctor asked one simple, pivotal question. What material is your underwear made of? That question was a light bulb moment for Denise. She decided to experiment by switching exclusively to 100% cotton briefs. Within just a few days, she reported the persistent odor had disappeared completely. It wasn't a matter of her being dirty or unhygienic. It was purely and simply that her skin was not being allowed to breathe adequately throughout the day due to the nylon fabric. Cotton, in stark contrast, is naturally absorbent and highly breathable. It acts like a gentle sponge, drawing moisture away from the skin, and its fibrous structure allows for air to flow through, helping to keep you drier and cooler. This significantly reduces the risk of creating that swampy environment where bacteria love to build up. When shopping for underwear, make it a habit to look for 100% cotton on the label, especially for the gusset, the panel of fabric that comes into direct contact with your most sensitive areas. Some brands may offer underwear with a synthetic body, but include a cotton-lined gusset. While this is a decent compromise, opting for full cotton construction is often the superior choice for optimal breathability and comfort. Also, remember that the fit is just as important as the fabric. Even cotton underwear, if excessively tight, can cause friction and trap sweat. So always pick a size that fits comfortably and allows for some air circulation, rather than one that hugs too tightly or digs into your skin. The goal is gentle support and coverage without suffocation. This small, mindful change in fabric preference can restore a level of comfort, confidence, and freshness that you might not have even realized you were missing. It doesn't necessitate a complete and expensive wardrobe overhaul, just a little more attention paid to the fabric that lies closest to your skin. Feeling truly clean and fresh isn't solely about the act of showering. It's also profoundly influenced by what you choose to wear immediately afterward. Your underwear might indeed be saying more about your intimate environment than you think. If this deeper dive into nylon and polyester has provided you with valuable new insights, or if you have experiences with these fabrics you'd like to share, please comment with the number 5 below. We're always interested in hearing your personal stories and perspectives as they enrich our community's understanding. Habit 6, the constriction conundrum. When pants are too tight in the crotch area. One clothing habit that often flies completely under the radar, yet can significantly impact intimate comfort and odor, is the practice of wearing pants, leggings, or even some styles of shorts that are simply too snug around the crotch and groin area. Many women, understandably, desire a clean, fitted, and streamlined look from their clothing. And as bodies naturally change with age, perhaps with shifts in weight distribution or a desire for more perceived support, it's easy to find oneself opting for, or inadvertently ending up in, pants that are tighter than ideal. However, there's a hidden cost to this snugness, a cost that often manifests in terms of comfort, skin health, and yes, odor. The primary issue with overly tight pants in the pelvic region is the severe restriction of airflow. When fabric is pressed tightly against the skin, especially in an area already prone to warmth and moisture, it essentially seals off ventilation. This lack of air circulation means that any perspiration or natural bodily moisture has nowhere to evaporate. It becomes trapped, creating and sustaining that problematic warm, damp environment that we know is a veritable breeding ground for bacteria and fungi. It doesn't take long for this imbalance in the local microclimate to cause noticeable issues, which can range from a persistent, unwelcome odor to uncomfortable itching, or even a noticeable change in normal vaginal discharge. You may not feel the effects immediately, but over the course of a day, or cumulatively over several days of wearing such garments, your body will respond, and often not in a way that promotes freshness or comfort. Sylvia, a sharp and active 68-year-old, consistently wore beautifully tailored fitted slacks every day. She firmly believed they made her look polished, put together, and professional. However, over time, she began to notice a persistent odor that lingered even after her morning shower. Confused and concerned, she tried switching soaps, altering her diet slightly, and even using scented body powders, but nothing seemed to make a lasting difference. The breakthrough came during a consultation with a nurse practitioner for an unrelated matter. The nurse, while taking a general history, inquired about her typical clothing choices. When Sylvia described her preference for very fitted trousers, the nurse gently suggested that this might be a contributing factor. Intrigued, Sylvia decided to experiment by giving her wardrobe a little breathing room, quite literally. She invested in a few pairs of well-fitting but slightly looser slacks and started opting for more relaxed styles on her days off. To her immense relief and surprise, the troublesome odor went away within a week. What you wear, and critically, how it fits, truly matters. especially as you age and your skin generally becomes more sensitive and less resilient. The pelvic area, in particular, needs space to breathe. If you frequently wear pants or leggings that feel constricting, leave red marks or deep indentations on your skin after removal, or generally make you feel held in too tightly, it might be a clear signal that it's time to consider sizing up or choosing looser, more accommodating styles. Look for fabrics that offer a degree of natural stretch and movement without clinging excessively, especially around the inner thighs and groin. And the impact isn't just about odor or daily comfort. Chronic, repeated friction from overly tight clothing can cause significant skin irritation, redness, and chafing. In some cases, it can even contribute to a condition known as post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, leading to a darkening of the skin in the affected areas. When the skin's natural protective barrier is continually compromised by friction and moisture, it becomes even easier for bacteria to gain a foothold and create problems. So if you've noticed a persistent change in scent, a decrease in comfort, or an increase in sensitivity in your intimate area, please don't overlook the fit of your pants as a potential contributing factor. Sometimes the most effective solution isn't found in a doctor's office or a pharmacy prescription. It's found in a simple, conscious change to what you wear and how well it allows your body to simply be. If you've experienced discomfort from tight clothing or found that looser fits make a difference, we'd be very interested to hear about it. Please comment with the number 6 below if this point resonates with your own experiences or observations. And as always, if you're finding this discussion valuable, a like, subscription, and enabling notifications would mean the world to us and help others find this content. Habit 7. The bare truth. Skipping cotton underwear altogether. The 7th habit we'll explore might seem counterintuitive to some. A number of women, particularly as they navigate their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, make the personal choice to stop wearing underwear altogether. The motivations behind this decision can vary widely. Some find it offers a greater sense of freedom and comfort, especially in warmer weather. Others may do so due to skin sensitivities or irritation caused by elastic bands or certain fabrics in conventional underwear. While the desire for comfort and liberation is entirely understandable, going without any protective layer between your delicate, intimate area and your outer clothing, especially if that outerwear is made from synthetic materials, rough denim, or other non-breathable fabrics, can silently and unexpectedly set the stage for odor issues. Here's why this can be problematic. The groin area, with its unique anatomy and concentration of sweat glands, truly benefits from some kind of breathable, absorbent buffer. Without underwear, there is direct and prolonged contact between your most private skin and your outer garments, pants, skirts, shorts. These outer clothes are often constructed from materials that, as we've discussed, don't breathe well. This direct contact can lead to increased friction, especially during movement. It also means that heat is more readily trapped, and any natural moisture or perspiration is allowed to accumulate directly on the skin or be absorbed into the outerwear fabric. And all of these factors, friction, trapped heat, and accumulated moisture, contribute significantly to creating an environment where bacterial imbalance and subsequent odor can flourish. Furthermore, skipping underwear means that any sweat, natural vaginal discharge, which is perfectly normal, or even minute traces of urine are absorbed directly into your pants or skirt. Unlike cotton underwear, which is typically changed and laundered daily, most people do not wash their outerwear after every single wear. This means that the sweat, oils, and bacteria can accumulate in the fabric of your pants or skirts over several days, creating a persistent source of odor that you are repeatedly exposing your body to. Consider the body's natural mechanisms. Under normal, healthy conditions, the vaginal area is remarkably self-cleaning, maintaining a delicate ecosystem of microorganisms and a specific pH that helps protect against infection and excessive odor. However, this finely tuned system relies heavily on a stable and conducive environment. Too much moisture, too much heat, excessive friction, or prolonged exposure to accumulated bacteria on clothing can easily throw this delicate balance off kilter. And with age, the natural decline in estrogen levels often leads to changes in the vulvovaginal tissues, making them thinner, more delicate, and generally less robust and protected than they were in younger years. This heightened sensitivity can make the area more vulnerable to irritation from direct contact with coarser outerwear fabrics. Barbara, a vibrant 75-year-old, shared that she had made a habit of not wearing underwear during the hot summer months, believing it felt more breathable and cooler that way. However, by late August each year, she would invariably start to feel not quite fresh down there, noticing a subtle but persistent odor and a general sense of mild irritation. During a routine visit, her doctor gently recommended that she reconsider, suggesting she try wearing soft, breathable, 100% cotton underwear, especially when she was out running errands or taking her daily walks. Skeptical but willing to try, Barbara followed the advice. Within just a few days, she noticed a marked difference. She felt significantly drier, less prone to irritation, and the bothersome odor was gone. So, if you've chosen to ditch underwear primarily for reasons of comfort or to avoid perceived constriction, that sentiment is perfectly valid and understood. However, it's worth reframing the role of well-chosen cotton briefs. Think of them not as a restriction, but as a soft, healthy shield. They are inherently soft against the skin. They breathe exceptionally well, and they play a crucial role in absorbing excess moisture before it can become a problem or be transferred to your less frequently washed outerwear. If you found regular underwear styles to be too tight, too binding, or prone to rubbing you the wrong way, don't give up on underwear entirely. Instead, explore options like high-waisted, seamless cotton styles, or those made from very soft, organic cotton, which can offer exceptional comfort without any undue pressure or irritation. Sometimes, the smallest, most fundamental changes in our daily habits can make the biggest and most welcome difference. When it comes to something as intimately linked to your personal scent, your daily confidence, and your overall comfort, it's truly worth reconsidering the basics. A simple, well-fitting pair of cotton briefs could very well be the gentle support your body is quietly asking for. Have you ever considered or tried going without underwear? What was your experience? If you feel comfortable sharing, or if this seventh point has given you food for thought, please comment with the number 7 below. Your insights contribute to a richer, more helpful conversation for everyone. Getting older is a journey rich with experiences and wisdom, and it naturally comes with a multitude of changes. Some are visible, celebrated milestones, while others are more private, internal shifts. One of the most frequently overlooked aspects of this journey is how seemingly small, ingrained daily habits, especially those we've repeated for decades without a second thought, can gradually begin to work against our comfort and well-being. The purpose of our discussion today was not to pass judgment or create anxiety, but to foster understanding and empowerment. Our bodies evolve throughout our lives. Our skin becomes thinner and more delicate. Our hormonal landscapes shift, and physiological processes subtly change. What worked perfectly well for us in our 40s or 50s might not be the most supportive choice for our health or comfort in our 70s, 80s, or beyond. If you found yourself nodding along, even to just one of the 7 habits we covered, please know that you are in very good company. The truth is, most women are never explicitly taught that everyday choices like fabric selection for underwear, the fit of their pants, or how frequently they launder certain garments could have such a direct impact on their intimate health and personal scent. This isn't information typically covered in school health classes, nor is it a common topic in mainstream lifestyle magazines. But the connection is very real, and the wonderful news is that it's almost always addressable with simple, gentle adjustments. You have far more control over your daily comfort and freshness than you might currently believe. The path forward begins with a little mindful awareness. Start by taking a non-judgmental look at your closet and your daily routines. You don't need to embark on a radical wardrobe overhaul overnight. Simply begin to notice what you wear most often, especially the garments that are in closest contact with your body. Ask yourself a few key questions about these items. Does this fabric breathe? Is this garment truly comfortable, or does it constrict or chafe? Does it help me feel fresh and confident at the end of the day? If the answers are leaning towards no, then perhaps it's time to consider making a few quiet, thoughtful upgrades. Not necessarily for the sake of fashion, but for the profound benefit of your personal well-being. And always remember, achieving a sense of fresh scent and intimate comfort isn't about relying on heavily fragrant sprays, harsh soaps, or complicated feminine hygiene products, which can often do more harm than good by disrupting your body's natural balance. True, lasting freshness is primarily about fostering an environment of good air circulation, maintaining a healthy pH balance, and choosing clothes that respect and support your body's natural physiology. Thank you for joining us today and for engaging with this important, though often sensitive topic. We would genuinely love to hear from you. Please take a moment to leave a comment below and share one key insight you learned today, or perhaps a small change you plan to implement in your own life. Your thoughts, experiences, and reflections are incredibly important to us and to the wider community. Reading your comments provides us with great motivation and encouragement to continue this work. If you enjoyed this article and found it helpful and informative, please show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and perhaps sharing it with other women in your life who might benefit from this knowledge. Your support is invaluable and helps us continue creating good, thoughtful content designed to inform, inspire, and empower. Thank you for reading, and we look forward to connecting with you again in our future content.